This is the Scrap Metal and Commodities Recycling Report brought to you by Benlee, the industry leader in roll-off trailers and open-top scrap gondola trailers, as well as Raleigh and Goldsboro Metal Recycling, the leaders in North Carolina for scrap metal, cardboard, computers, batteries, and junk cars. Today is Monday, October 12, 2015. My name is Greg Brown. Last week was filled with some very good news and some very bad news. Finished goods steel continues to fall to new multi-year lows, which is clearly helping reduce manufacturing costs and increase profits. Also, scrap steel fell significantly, which will mean even further reductions in finished goods steel prices, yet will be a major negative to scrap recycling companies. U.S. steel production was down slightly in the last reporting week and has been trending down for the past 2 months. Imports of finished goods steel are continuing to drive down prices and hurt U.S. steel production. Last year, China exported 94 million metric tons of steel, which is more than the combined output of the U.S., India, and South Korea, which are the world's third, fourth, and fifth largest producers. China and Japan are number 1 and number 2. Capacity utilization at U.S. steel mills pretty much followed the production chart we just showed. The low capacity utilization is clearly hurting U.S. steel mill profitability. The U.S. oil rig count was not only down again last week, it hit a 5-year low. Another terrible statistic is that when you combine the oil and gas rigs, the number of drilling rigs in the U.S. hit a 13.5-year low. This is reversing the energy independence plan of the U.S. and means the steel mills supplying the steel for these rigs will remain running at low utilization. The only good news here is that exports of scrap metal from the U.S. to Saudi Arabia and Turkey are up significantly this year, partly due to the Saudi Arabia oil rig count is near record levels, so they are consuming more steel. Yet another negative impact on scrap steel prices has been that some scrapyards and demolition projects have been holding material for months, which they are now partly selling. So there's a lot of scrap steel on the market for sale, which is driving down prices. This scrap steel price chart shows a bad story for recycling companies, yet when updated next week, it will be worse. It will show that scrap steel fell last week on average about $50 a gross ton, which is over $2, and is down about 24%. Copper prices, when looking at this daily chart, have been rising, which I said last week is heavily due to the closing of copper mines that is restricting supplies. When looking at this 5-year chart, one sees that copper prices have stabilized in the past 2 months, yet are at about 5-year lows. Aluminum prices finished up for the week. Alcoa, the world's largest aluminum producer, while not having a great earnings report last week, said that global aluminum demand will grow at a solid 6.5% this year, and they remain forecasting that aluminum demand will double between 2010 and 2020. The 5-year chart shows aluminum prices are at very low levels, but Alcoa said that 2016 there will be a supply deficit, which will lead to higher prices. This 5-year aluminum inventory chart tells quite a story. Aluminum inventories have been falling for about 18 months. This means that unless something changes, higher aluminum prices are coming. If you're in the business of consuming metal and manufacturing equipment, devices, or parts, with prices at multi-year lows, now is the time to ensure your supply chain is working and you're getting lower material prices. If you're in the recycling business, now is the time to do all you can to ensure you're reducing your costs in the worst times the industry has seen in more than a decade. With that, we hope all have a safe and profitable week. Tune in next week for the Scrap Metal and Commodity Recycling Report. This is Greg Brown.